And I lost some man card points. I'm really worried about Kristen. We're done living on the old boat.
I'm gonna whip it in.
We're sailing good, bad, and ugly. 3 years ago, we bought our boat off Craigslist for $5,000. I'm Kristen, and this is Matt. We are known to break the rules and do things a little less traditional. Hit subscribe to join the adventure. Thanks to our patrons for keeping us going. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Sailing GBU.
This week, we drove all the way up to the very north coast of Puerto Rico to a cool city called Arecibo, just because we had to see this. Man, it's so beautiful out here. This La Cueva del Indio, I think is the name of the place in Arecibo. It's gorgeous. These rocks kind of come out. I think it's called the arches. And the caves is so beautiful here. Like, it's breathtaking. I could spend a week here, but there's no good anchorages.
Yeah, I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but hopefully it's coming out good. But when I looked at it, I was in shock just looking at it.
Yeah, I had to crawl down in a cave and there ain't no ladder. All the pictures online, there had a big ladder in there and there wasn't one. So I just had to, you know, Billy Goat Badass over here, just had to knock my hooves down there. And there was a big swarm of bees. I'm gonna get that shot of the bees for you. I ain't lying. These were the bees' knees. So Be America out there, we got some bees for you.
A lot of fun. As you can see, the beach was really great, but we got kicked out because it was closing at 5 and we ran out of time.
Yeah, the guy came over and said,
He did
out!
not say that.
He did not say that, but I could have stayed there all night. I'll tell you this though, if you come to Puerto Rico and you have a chance to go to La Cueva del Indio, do yourself a service and go to that, because man, it was beautiful. It was really, really cool. Just an amazing place. later, it's another day, and I lost some man card points. I'm a big advocate for doing a lot of your own boat work and doing a lot of your own boat maintenance. You know, a lot of people hire other guys and are constantly outsourcing the stuff that you don't like to do, you know, polishing the steel, cleaning the bottom of the boat and things like that. But I finally bit the bullet. I finally outsourced it, and I got someone else to clean the bottom of my dinghy. And, you know, they did a pretty bad job, I'll be honest. Like, lazy, took forever, horrible.
But it looked good doing it.
Horrible outcome. Looked pretty, like, it was interesting to watch, I guess, but, like, I'm pretty much gonna have to get in there and clean it myself. So you see them, rate them, you know, I'm gonna give them a 0-star Yelp review. You can give a Yelp review in the comments below and rate my bottom of the dinghy cleaner. Local guy, but I don't care. I'm over him.
Alright guys, so today we're jumping right back into our projects. As you can see, we did not paint our wall. And we're probably not going to. I don't think so. I think a lot of comments were right. They said we need time to get used to the floor, sew your cushions first, and then see how you feel about that. And that was great advice. And that's what we're going to do. So today, we're getting right into sewing up these cushions, and I'm going to show you how. You're not going to watch your old, not going to say the name, from the 80s video of how to sew cushions. I'm going to whip it in Bikini Seamstress Edition. Alright guys, to start out, I got a new machine. Shout out to Chris Myers for changing my life. I'll be ever in debt to you. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. If you need a sewing machine for your sailboat, I say this is a good one. It's Singer Heavy Duty 4452. It can sew through like 8 layers of folded up canvas, leather. You could like sew, I don't know, you can sew anything. And so this is what we're gonna be using today. So the very first thing you want to do is lay out your fabric and put your cushion on top. You're going to start by measuring out the top plate. Now you're going to want to add 1/4 an inch to all the sides of your cushion. This will be your seam allowance. Seam allowance is basically the extra material that you're going to be pulling away, wasting away by sewing.
So what we like to do is trace the cushion so we have the perfect shape of our boat. All of boat cushions are misshapen. And then when we make our cuts, we just eyeball a 1/4 inch additional for our seam allowance. Also, pro tip, we're using a marker here, but this marker does not bleed. Don't use a Sharpie or anything because it'll bleed through the other side of your fabric. And even though it'll end up being a seam anyway, you don't want to have that junk on your hands.
Next, you want to measure the width of your foam. This is about, it's supposed to be a 4-inch foam. So it's about 4 inches of foam, and then you want to add 1/4 to all the sides. So it's, might as well just add it together, and it's going to be 4.5. For the side boxing, the long length side, I want to add a zipper. To do this, you have to add the width of your zipper plus the 4.5 inches you already measured out. 4 inches plus 1/4 on both sides makes it 4.5. Plus the width of your zipper is this is 1 inch and 1/4 will be 5 inches and 3/4. So for this strip, you're gonna want to measure out 5 3/4. All right, so once you get all of your boxing cut out to the length, you want to make sure that you know which one you're making the thickness for the zipper, because you don't want that to end up being the front of your cushion. Some people have perfectly rectangle cushions where they can move them around all together. Ours are sewn just for our boat, so I almost made a mistake, but don't forget that part. Let's start with the boxing piece that's gonna have your zipper. I'm gonna now show you how exactly to make a hidden zipper on your cushion. Take the piece that we measured out with the width of the zipper, and you're gonna want to start by folding it in half with the top side of the fabric together. Alright, so you want to sew a seam allowance of half the width of your zipper. Our zipper was 1 inch and 1/4, so we're going to be sewing 5/8 inch seam allowance. Alright, so this is going to sound crazy. You're going to slide your scissors in to what you just sewed and cut all the way down. Try to keep it in the middle the best you can, because it'll help you later on when you sew the zipper in. Now you want to open it up and fold this out. This is where you decide how long you want your zipper. I'm gonna make mine pretty much the whole length of the side, because the longer the zipper, the easier it is to put your cushion into the cover. So I'm gonna start high up on my edge, obviously not too high because that will get sewn away, but I'm using a regular zipper. You want to put it face down and try to line up the seam with the zipper. So now that you have a zipper foot in, you want to sew from the top. Don't forget to back stitch to hold in the lines. Now, the closer you zip to the zipper teeth, the harder it will be and the tighter the zipper will be, and you'll have more trouble. Once you decide how long you want your zipper, you cut off the end. So all the way down. Next, flip your zipper flip to the other side and sew down the other side of the zipper. Next, you have to put your zipper head on. Open up the teeth a little bit, and this is really hard, I'm not gonna lie. And if you sew too close to the zipper, it's gonna be even harder. But you wanna make sure that the zipper head is facing down, so when you open the cushion, that's on top. So make sure the bottom's facing you right now, and you're gonna wanna slide it into the teeth. Push the zipper down and away from the edge. Next, you want to sew the ends of the zipper shut. So get a scrap piece of fabric. You're gonna lay it flush on top and fold it over. Make sure it's over the end of the zipper. Then you're gonna flip over your fabric and sew on the same lines that you did previously, so it's seamless. Once you sew both ends of your zipper down and you went back and forth over the teeth, now it's time to open the seam. You want to open the seam after where you sewed it shut, not before, obviously. So you're going to use a handy dandy seam ripper and get in there. And voila! Now you have a perfectly working zipper that's seamless into the cushion side. Next step, we have to sew all the boxing pieces together. Top side to top side, and just sew them across the 1/4 seam allowance that we made for them. So once the boxing's all sewn together, now it's time to sew it to the top plate. When you get to the corners, you're gonna stop your sewing machine with the needle in and pivot and keep sewing along. Alright, so all of the boxing is now sewn to the top plate. Now all you have to do is sew it onto the bottom plate. You gotta make sure your zipper's open so you can turn it back inside out. Inside in. Yeah, so you can turn it back inside in. Now that everything's sewed, you wanna open your zipper even more and flip it the correct way. Now you hope you did it right. This is where it all comes down to. Ta-da!
So now we've upgraded from the old wooden slats and the staples. Now we can unzip these, take them to the laundry machine, and wash them. That's going to be so great for me.
Alright guys, so it's another day. We finished our cushions. We did a little working and twerking. Not twerking. We did a little working to get the foam to fit inside. One of them we added extra foam in, the very first one that we showed you guys. It was a little loose, so we added more foam and we like it a lot better. But before I show you the final outcome, I came up with this idea that I did see on Pinterest. I know people make fun of me because I look at Pinterest, but I want to do Shibori dye throw pillows. Now, if you don't know what Shibori dye is, it's pretty much tie-dye for adults, pretty much. What's so funny?
Adults love tie-dye. The oldest adults invented tie-dye, like 70 and 80-year-olds from Woodstock.
Yeah, but now it's for kids. Whatever. We're going to Shibori tie-dye. I'm going to sew the pillows myself after we do it. So I got some fabric, 16 by 16 pillows. I just got some Rit navy dye. And we're about to go in on this.
4 pillows, 4 designs, 4 best picks only.
Here we go.
We're ready to try out with our Shibori, and I was not an advocate for doing this. I was like, crafts are kind of boring and pillows are stupid. But one thing I'll say about Shibori is it was fun. And Shibori is not shiboring. It's actually really fun.
Get out of here, Matt. These are our designs.
This is the Patrick. This is the dirty diaper. This is the candy lacer. This is the square boy. Second square boy number 2. This is the big plaid daddy.
We did all different ones. Let's see how they come out. This one has some nice twine on it. We're going to give this a good old dip dye.
This is the super Shibori nugget. We Shibori'd as hard as we possibly could with this, and I know it just looks like a little dump sack, but it's actually pretty cool.
Alright guys, it's a scorcher out here. There's no wind at all. I'm going to start tie-dyeing. I think I'm going to dip this all the way in on this one and then hold it on the edges to get even darker. I'm getting fancy. This might turn out crazy.
First, you want to really whip up your mixture.
Yeah, just following the instructions. I already dip dyed my crotch. So I'm gonna go ahead, I have one dip dyeing that I'm timing in different layers, but I'm gonna go ahead and start opening them up. I'm not feeling very confident about this, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like they might just all be solid blue pillows and that's gonna be okay too. It didn't keep the white up at all, but a little bit. Ooh!
Oh, Shibori, Batman.
Oh, wow, guys.
Lay it down flat.
That came out really good, guys. I'm hyped on that. I'm hyped on it.
Nice.
Alright, guys, so this is the one I put cardboard on. Let's see how it turned out.
Ooh. Ooh.
I'm nervous.
Oh, snap. Ooh.
Whoa, this is a lot more white than I intended, but I think it will look good next to this one.
What the? It's the old ombre ripper.
Alright, guys, I'm not sure. I think this one could have been cool, but I don't know. Alright, so Matt did his really tight, so that might be the key to success.
Alright guys, so I'm really worried about Kristen. This little project started off with like good intentions and we just wanted to give a little bit of a modern edge to some decorations, but she went completely buck wild. And when she had extra dye, she just started throwing everything in there. So,
You can't let it go to
let me
waste.
just show you the situation that we're dealing with here. Basically, we tried to make a grimace. She put her house slippers. She put her house slippers in here, and it looks pretty horrible on that fur. But you know, it might be a little crazy, but I think that's what we love about her.
I got a bikini in there too.
She got a bikini in there too. I threw in one of my old flannels. So now I got a blue shirt, so I'll be matching my, you know, we're just trying to match our boat. We're getting crazy out here and, you know, we're getting it all uniform.
Alright guys, so this is our final product. I feel pretty good about it. I do feel like your shirt might be the star of the show. They did come out a little more purpley than I intended upon, so I might have to get some other dye to maybe get them to be a little more navy blue. But other than that, I feel good about them. They look good. Gives us some...
Purple ass pillows. Oh, that's what I'd say. No, I think it gives it a little more chicer, modern look, breaks up like the monotony of the little more of the classic sailboat look. But I'm more hyped over my cushion that I got a new bed to sleep on. I've been sleeping good on that bad boy. The cushions came out a lot better, and we got rid of that old masonite wood, which was kind of hard when we were moving things and cleaning up. Those big blocks made it hard for us. So these new cushions that are the right professional way made it good for us. Bye, Bear. Hey, you too. But yeah, so we entered the 21st century, I think it is, whichever century it is. You guys let me know in the comments below. Okay, so all those projects are done. We modernized ourselves a little bit, and we're done living on the old boat. We're done living on the old way, the uncomfortable way, but it does make me sad. It's kind of an end of an era, but we are done living on the old boat.
Alright guys, so if you watched this far and you're not redoing your cushions, you guys are the best. You're my people. And make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below, and don't forget, this is real important, don't forget to hit that bell button, because next week we have a really exciting announcement that's been in the works for a while, and you don't want to miss the video. Plus, you don't want to miss next week because I think somebody's going to get a haircut. We had to order some supplies, so hopefully those come in time.
Yep, new haircut, new hairstyle, but we're waiting on old Amazon to hoof it over here. So we don't know when that's going to be, but that'll be coming.
Alright guys, so see you next week.